There we go. Hello, great people out there. This is the first of many great interviews involving those who want to get into the medical field, nursing primarily. And this is the first of many. I already said that, but that's okay. I am here with, introduce yourself.
How's it going? My name is Arno Jamian. Amongst other things, I'm a ICU nurse.
Okay, Arno.
Entrepreneur, ICU nurse. The list's too long.
Okay. Well, Arno, you have quite the number of letters behind your name.
Yes.
So, what would you say your specialty is?
So my specialty is being able to identify deteriorating events in a crash, in what we call crashing patient, right? So ICU care or intensive care is the management of the sickest patients. To make it easy for everybody to understand,
Yeah.
every single COVID patient during the pandemic was an ICU patient.
Keyword, COVID. So for many of you out there that will be watching this podcast, that are getting into the field, the medical field, nursing primarily, I think a lot of people are thinking about dabbling in the field due to COVID, and they've heard about the pay, and it's how lucrative it is.
They heard about the money. There's work that comes with that money, though.
So how long have you been in nursing?
In nursing.
Well, give us some of your, let's say this. Let's start with a bit of your background, because before you became a nurse.
Yeah, so I've worked in the field. I've been in the medical field for over 10 years, right? I'm West African born. Came here when I was 2 years old. Raised by my mom, single mom since I was 16. We did that. First generation, probably with a college degree.
That's awesome.
At least in the States. Yeah, college degree in the States, which is my nursing degree.
So you're the first generation college educated in your family?
I want to say as far as the United States goes.
Okay.
I believe that my dad was a school teacher in Africa, but I'm not exactly sure how that equates to our collegiate system.
Okay.
Yeah. So at least in the States, I'm definitely the first one in my family with a college.
Congratulations on that. That's awesome.
Thank you. I'm a musician, executive producer, so I did that before I jumped into nursing.
So, don't want to interrupt you too much, but I'm so curious because I've been working with you now for the past 3 months, and I've been quite intrigued by your background, your knowledge, as well as the knowledge you're oftentimes willing to share with those of us, that aren't as knowledgeable as you, especially you being so young. And what was the medical field your initial passion, or what did you really want to dabble into as far as what makes you feel?
I really just wanted to make music. I'm a hip hop artist whose favorite artist was Nas. Right?
Up and coming hip hop artist.
Yeah, so I'm a hip hop artist. Now I relegate myself to songwriter. It's I don't really just relegate my talents to just hip hop. Right? I love writing pop. I love writing R&B. Hip hop is just what I started.
Okay.
So, to be honest, medicine was my backup plan.
Wow.
Yeah, going to nursing school and doing medicine was my backup plan. And, first generation, I'm out African.
Yeah.
Doctor, lawyer, whatever the case is.
Degree.
Right?
Gotta
so
have that degree.
All right, music fell and just blossomed on me out of nowhere. So I'm in a close belief that you should never ignore your passion.
Yeah.
Because at the end of it all, that's the thing that you regret.
That's true.
So even in my field, being an ICU nurse, I see the sickest patients at the ends of their days.
Yeah.
And I know the things that they talk about. right? Because they share it with you. It's a very intimate space. If you're a nurse, you take care of people intimately. You get to see their intimate moments.
Yes, that's the part I love so much. And with you, you were so close with the doctors.
Yeah.
I mean, you have nurses out there and the RNs and LPNs, but as far as your specialty, you're like, it's critical.
Yeah.
Like, something's going on that's life threatening. And when it comes to like the doctors, it's like you're right there in the room. So like
we see everything.
Yes.
Right. That's why like we have fewer patients in ICU. So like I've just spent the last 72 hours with someone's loved one. And the doctors will come in, they'll take a look and whatever, but they're just not as close to, I would say, the battlefield as nurses are.
Yes.
So we can see easy changes, right?
Yeah.
He didn't have that mole on his right finger yesterday.
Right.
Because I was here with him.
Yeah.
For 12 hours.
And you did that assessment, which
and
is
I did that assessment,
key.
Right? The nursing assessment is the most important.
Yeah.
I know what's different.
Listen to that, people. Nursing assessment is the most important because nowadays I noticed that when we do change a shift and report, the old school rule was you go visit that room with that patient.
With that patient, you turn, you give off report, and you guys talk about what happened the whole time with the patient there so you guys can both agree on what you see.
Yes.
Yeah.
And a lot of times nowadays, unfortunately, people are just having a conversation at the desk, giving report, opposed to one of the top rules in nursing is actually laying eyes on that patient while you're passing on report.
Absolutely.
That's being lacked, and that's important. Take that from this conversation here in this interview.
It's the
if you're going in the field.
It's the most important. I wonder if we're straying away from that because of COVID, right? Because we couldn't do that because people were fearing for their lives.
Right.
To go into every room, hand off report, even being close to that. Because at first when it started, nobody knew what it was.
Right.
Nobody knew exactly how you caught it. If you caught it from this, if you caught it from being too close, if it's cough, if it's blood or whatever. I imagine it was similar to what the HIV epidemic was.
Yes.
Right?
I like that comparison.
That's exactly what it was. It was just another pandemic. It's just like bird flu when it came out, the Spanish flu back in the day. When people are terrified and scared and they don't know, some things go to the wayside.
Yeah.
So this was my generation's HIV epidemic.
Yeah. That makes so much sense because like people were in fear. And the fear was even when you had families taking that back home to your family. And I noticed that a lot of people, if they were able to retire, they did.
If they were close enough, we out of here. We are not coming back. Like 5 years, they can keep that pension. They can keep the pension. They can keep it all.
Man.
Which is understandable, right? But to go back to that point, I think we were stepping away from that bedside handoff and that evaluation just because people don't want to be that close.
Yeah.
And that's something we do have to get back to, debunking and getting back to that bed handoff with the nurses because it's important.
It is. And that's how you get to know your patient.
Absolutely.
Even if you're with them, like you said earlier, 72 hours. But I know that when it comes to the medical field, I know that patient intimately.
Yes.
And I'm handing that information off to the doctor.
Yes. Yeah. So the doctors really rely on your nursing assessment to even be able to do what they do properly. Because you can't treat numbers, right? We get all these labs, we get all these numbers on the computer, but you can't treat that, right? You have to take a look at the patient. Even like when doctors don't believe what's going on, you're like, yo, I just need you to come and see the patient.
Yeah.
Because that's going to change their course of action, right?
You mentioned in that, and we had a conversation last night, and you were educating me on potassium.
Yeah.
In blood and outside of the blood, itself, and how it relates to insulin, and those are ketoacidosis.
Yeah, we're talking about DKA, diabetic ketoacidosis,
yes.
and the role that potassium plays in it, and why we do insulin drips on those patients.
Yeah.
Right? You have to understand the chemistry under that. That's why we all took a chemistry class, right? We all took microbiology. Often, this with everything, right? Once you get advanced in something, it's like a cycle. You start something, you figure out every single little detail about it, all the way down to like the basics, right?
Yeah.
Then you get very skilled in it, and you're like, forget the basics. You're just doing your on autopilot and your auto control. Right?
Yeah.
But once you get to mastery of something and you critically think about something, you tap into the basics.
It all comes back to you.
And but you have to, not even it comes back to you, you have to go back and study it again for you to understand.
Yeah.
Right? Because we'll get into a place where we're just doing things because it's muscle memory.
And the numbers, and you're just going by the numbers.
And we're just going by that.
Yeah.
But you really know and demonstrate mastery of what you know when you know the basics intimately.
Yeah.
Right?
That makes sense.
Right? When you figure out the basics, then you're like, oh, this is happening, and that informs your critical thinking. Now you know that you're going to do step B instead of step A because of something minor that you realize from the basics that you know. You can maneuver differently. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Even myself thinking of, like, you put that in the simple terms, like as an athlete.
Yeah.
Like, you have to go back to the basics. If an athlete lacks the basics, no matter how talented they are,
Exactly.
they will get beat.
Right? Basketball.
Yeah.
Even basketball. Right? You go, you have the Kyrie moves, the double, triple step, quadruple, and then you just go back and you realize like some of the most effective basketball players, 2 crossovers.
Yeah.
That's it. Boom boom, layup.
Gone.
Boom boom, jump shot. Everyone wants to do boom, 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 boom.
All that
extra stuff, so you can lose the ball.
You still gonna get beat.
Yeah, you do. All that, and just you end up losing the ball.
Yeah.
Keep it simple.
That's true.
Life is simple.
Another conversation we had.
Oh yeah. But life is simple. We will be whirlwinding, but we'll be spinning this one around. But I would like to get to the next question for you, so we stay focused. But.
Okay, so we talked about your specialties. You're an ICU nurse.
So ICU nurse. Before I started this contract, I left my position as a rapid response nurse. Right, that was where I decided to leave my nursing career. Rapid response nurse is just an ICU nurse that has mastery over being able to deal with ICU patients, and they'll basically go to anywhere in the hospital where there's an emergency.
Oh, okay.
Right? So that's what I did. That's my passion. My passion is rapid response nursing.
Yeah.
So it's like, boom, hey, this patient's not breathing too well, I'm going to call a rapid response. They'll call a rapid response, and then someone like me would show up, the nurse that has medical ICU training, knowledge and understanding, a physician that has emergent ICU understanding and concepts, maybe a nurse practitioner was on the team that I worked at as well, would show up, and respiratory therapists would also show up. RT, they're very important. And so a team of us would show up and troubleshoot what's going on with the patient. What happens with that? When I walk into that room, again, I have 30 seconds to do my nursing assessment, right? So this means you have to have years and years of nursing assessment down. I have about 30 seconds to assess this patient, listen to what the primary nurse said happened, and then decide how we're going to help this patient.
What a short window that is.
Yes.
So you must be knowledgeable in that
assessment piece. It's very important. Ryan, what do I say? When you pay someone that's very skilled in their field, whether it's a producer, an athlete, or whatever, when they come in and do their thing, it could be 5 minutes, it could be an hour. You're paying them for the years.
Yeah.
Right? You're paying them for the years of them doing that over and over.
Yeah.
So for me, when I walk in, 30 seconds, it sounds really quick, and it is. But that's not because I just ran through it really quickly.
Right.
That's because I've been doing years of ICU assessments on patients for over 10,000 hours acclimated, right? That I can walk in and be able to do that.
Yeah.
And then talk with my team of the doctor, the nurse practitioner, and the respiratory therapist and be like, hey, this is what we should do for this patient right now. That way they don't fall into more trouble.
The typical RN can't do what it is that you do.
No, you have to have years of experience, and you have to go work in an ICU setting to do that.
Yeah.
But fresh out of school, no, you have to put in time, like anything.
What does that things being so critical, your job being so essential when it comes to saving a life. What does that do for you? Like, is there an excitement for you as an individual, as a person being a critical nurse? It gives you some sort of feeling? Or?
Yeah, definitely a sense of purpose.
Yeah, that's
Everything
important.
is, see, it's a balance. Everything is the best when you can do something for a patient and then they come back and then they're grateful and the family's like, oh,
Oh
thank you for
man,
being there. Like, it gives you a sense of purpose.
yeah,
Right? I guess that was, no, that's the whole thing. Holistic nursing care.
yeah,
Just like, the founder of the field, Florence Nightingale, wanted. Right?
yeah,
Doing something good, operating holistically, make sure you can do everything possible
yeah,
for your patient.
yeah,
So I love rapid response nursing because I come and I'm able to educate. I'm able to educate the primary nurse, right?
yeah,
Because they took care of the patient before they called, right? Matter of fact, that primary nurse is the key component because their nursing assessment is what allowed them to realize, hey, something's not right.
Right,
We
yeah.
need to call someone more
yeah.
specialized.
I'm not sure what it is, so let me
Yes.
reach
been
out
there.
to someone
Yeah, they've been there. They're like, he was not like this when I got here.
Yeah,
Call the RRT.
yeah,
Call the team. So now the team comes and then we'll do the more individualized. So the primary nurse is the most important.
yeah,
Right? We can't take it away from them, even though they're not super specialized in what I do.
right,
Right? Everyone has a part to play.
yeah.
So we play together on a team to do the best thing for our patients.
And with that question, it help people out there understand that you don't know everything.
don't.
You don't need to know everything. There's always someone more knowledgeable than you are, and there's nothing wrong with asking for help
Absolutely.
and answers to questions because it can save a life. That just like you said earlier with the 30 seconds in time, that can make a huge difference on someone's life and serving a sense of purpose. And us nurses, that's one of the things that, pushes us to go back to work every day, that drives us, to
It's a purpose.
Yeah,
It's
to
really,
serve
it's really
others.
fulfilling. It's a service, right?
Yeah.
We're just, I always tell people, we're just highly overpaid waiters and waitresses.
Yeah. No, we're finally getting what's due. I disagree with him on that part. We were getting pennies
yeah,
before COVID. And now finally, we are finally getting what we deserve because
Yeah, no, I agree
understand
with
that
that.
we didn't have a break.
During
During
it's
COVID.
still not enough.
Nah,
But it's still not enough.
wait a minute, you better hold that thought.
Still
'Cause,
not enough.
hold that
But
thought.
you know what? I'll reframe it this way: we're waiters and waitresses with extensive science backgrounds.
And the customer is
Always right.
in a sense.
In a
and,
sense.
oof,
In a sense.
man, the customers understand that nursing is a difficult job because you have to deal with the customers who think they know everything and they think they know everything about their body. And if they did, they wouldn't be under our care.
That's true. That's true.
We get a lot of people that are rude, nasty, but we get a lot of people that are grateful and appreciative for the work that we do. So how long have you been a traveling nurse?
I've only been traveling for 2 years.
2 years?
Yeah.
So where are some of the places you've been as a traveler?
My
Some of the
first
states?
assignment, I just moved to California,
Wow.
and I did 8 months on a contract.
Now
there.
you're from,
New York.
and you went west.
Oh yeah, if I'm gonna do something,
Son,
I'm gonna go crazy. Everyone, they laugh. They want to go to the next town over. No, if I'm gonna go,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. So I went to the complete opposite side of the country.
He's jumping out the window, but see,
Always.
understand what he's describing is no fear. He doesn't have any fear. Life is whatever's going to hand it to him, and he's just taking the risk because he's passionate, and your blessings will come.
For sure.
You just have to go out there and get it.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow, California.
California. I was out of here. Out of here.
We're not going to ask about the money, though.
Huh?
We're not going to ask about the money. We're going.
It was good. It was good. It was good. It was drug dealer money.
Ooh, cha-ching.
Yeah, it was drug dealer money. That money hit your account so fast.
Oh man, I can
Time.
imagine.
Good time. You would never imagine that in years that a nurse would be able to make that kind of money.
Man, man. Okay, so where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
That's a loaded question. Because I just
Waiting
do
for
so
a
many
loaded
things.
answer.
I just do so many things. I'm passionate about business,
Okay.
and I'm passionate about music.
What are some of the things you dabble into though? Like what are many of the things you have going on today? Because we are more than 10 years apart in age. I come to him for a lot of advice because when we're at work, there's a lot of things that he's already into and he dabbles with that I seek that knowledge that, he provides. And so, yeah, tell us what some of the things you.
So, technology,
Okay.
working on AI is a big proponent right now.
I'm trying to learn AI.
I'm passionate about AI and how it can help people. In all spaces, right? In the healthcare space,
Really?
in the music space, right? People forget that everything that we create are just tools, right?
Okay, that's
People
true.
are scared of the outcomes of AI, but everything is just a tool,
Yeah.
right? The same thing, a gun can be wielded by a bad person or a good person. That's what AI
It's
is.
who's holding
It's
that
who's holding
tool.
it and who's educating people how to use it for the good. Right? Because if you just throw a tool out there and you just let people to their own devices, you don't know. But if you say, hey, this is a tool right here, this is how you can use it for good.
Yeah.
We can use it for good this way too, and this way and that way. That's what we need to do to hold each other accountable. So I'm passionate about business, AI, technology, and music. I'm an executive music producer, so I love songwriting. I love writing songs. I love reaching people with music.
Universal language.
Absolutely. It's medicine too, right?
Yeah.
I feel like they
Ooh.
converge for me. So music and medicine is a big thing in my life.
Wow. I'm glad you said that because a lot of the music, I got a chance to hear some of your music last night. And I mean, I was surprised. Like, you're quite talented. I mean, in every aspect when it comes, especially nursing, and music and just the sound and like the few tunes that I heard was so in touch with today's society and youth, but at the same time there was a message behind it.
Yes.
And the groove you can like even me being older, like I could groove to and I found myself listening, but at the same time my body would I'd start feeling the beat and the rhythm.
Yeah, and it's taken me years to kind of find that marriage. And like I'm really crafting what that sound looks and feels like now for myself.
Yeah.
Doing music for so long. And it was a journey. So I'm passionate about educating. I'm passionate about making music that makes people feel something.
Yeah.
But I also know that you have to mix both, right?
Right.
So if I'm gonna I have to make your body move and I have to make your mind groove at the same time.
Yep.
So I like being able to do both. And I think that's where I try to be set apart from the conventional aspects of what music is out today, especially what we appreciate about hip hop.
Hip hop, not rap.
We're coming to a close.
Yeah.
It's 50 years of hip hop this year.
Yep.
Right? So.
And it's the most popular, most listened to.
It's on a decline though.
I think the form of hip hop, I think it's rap music that's more so on a decline. I think hip hop has to come back. No,
I don't. I think
because of the culture.
I think when we do that, we try to define a good part and a bad part.
Okay.
And it just is what it is, right?
Yeah.
It's a tool. You can use it for good, you can use it for evil.
Yeah.
Don't define what's good and what's bad, right? It's hip hop / rap.
It is what it is.
People forget that hip hop and rap in its essence was to talk about freedom and the injustices that we had. Africa Bambaataa, all the DJs early time.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yep.
That's what hip hop /
Or
rap
what it
was.
is we were dealing with in the streets, Melly Mel
Yes.
and all those guys.
All of those guys were talking about the real injustices and what was happening. So I can't separate the two. It's evolved.
Okay.
It has evolved. But don't forget, it was also DJ culture. So it was made to make you dance as well.
Yes.
So you were dancing and still being...
It was a good time.
Yeah, and still being informed about the injustices that was happening to the culture of, Black and brown people. So we have to get back to that because somehow somebody got a hold of hip hop / rap and used it to demean our people and put out that message of violence and pointless partying and structures and characteristics that aren't good for progressing our culture.
That's where the health aspect comes in. And like you said, intertwining both. And, your ears has a lot to do with your health, your state of health.
For sure.
And the music that's being put out nowadays.
It affects everybody. It's subconscious. Like, think about a new song comes out. A 3-year-old knows the words.
That's crazy.
They don't know what they're saying, right? But they know the words. The repetition is there.
Yeah.
So we'd be ignorant to think that it doesn't affect us in any way.
Yeah.
We would be. So we have to really give credence to that. And I'm not shaming party music, party hip hop, party rap, or anything like that. That has a place.
Yeah.
Right? Because we just need to express ourselves as humans.
Yeah.
But the overabundance of it is horrible. That's my only problem.
Okay.
So I'm on a mission to, make hip hop rap positive, still groovy,
Yes.
still fun, all of those things.
Yeah.
And just bring more of a positive edge to it.
Yeah. And that's what's been missing for years.
I think that's why it's on a decline. Because if you think about every other genre, all the other genres, even like the rock, the R&B, they speak to real human sentiments most of the time.
Yeah.
So once you start falling out of being genuine in the music, hip hop is not realistic. Not everybody's slinging drugs, shooting guns,
perpetrating the fraud like crazy.
Pulling up on the ops,
they ain't even about that life.
90% of them are not about that life.
Right.
Matter of fact, where they are now, they can't be about that life.
No, and they're still talking about.
They're making so much money.
Yes.
They're making so much money from doing that. How are you still about that life? You don't live in that house anymore. So
right.
They live in Beverly Hills.
That's true.
Tom.
Yeah. It's crazy, yo.
No adding Kendrick.
Oh,
Kendrick,
gosh.
You do not live there anymore. You live in a nice neighborhood.
Yes.
Right
gated community.
In a gated community. Come on. Police parole your block.
And we
have neighborhood watch.
Yes.
You have a neighborhood watch, sir.
For real. You're absolutely correct.
So just find something else to uplift. Right? Or talk about
the key.
Or talk about your struggles. Talk about your new struggles. That's fine.
Yeah.
Right? Because more money, more problems.
Right.
Talk about
no matter what.
Talk about those issues.
Right.
Everyone can relate to that.
Yeah.
Right? Someone who used to make $10,000 and making $20,000 now, they still have more money, more problem issues.
Right.
Right? It doesn't matter if it's 10 to 20 or 1 million to 2 million. More money, more problems. You can be relatable.
Yeah.
So that's what we're missing.
That's
more
important.
Relatability. Because then the music starts to get stale, it starts to get old real quick. And it's getting old.
It is. It really is. Because I'm starting to see a lot of people on social media, like young people that are teaching younger children. And, this woman went viral. She's a ballet teacher in college and just getting out of college. And she said how she was teaching this little girl and all of them want to listen to twerk music.
Yeah.
And they're like 7, 8 years old. It's like, wait a minute, what do you know about this? And they're, reciting songs and stuff that they shouldn't be.
We have a problem. We like to censor the things that we shouldn't censor, and we don't censor the things that we should.
Yeah.
That's a big problem.
Do you think it's trying to destroy the society? It is actually destroying society. But do you think there's an ultimate plan out there to Or what do you think the motive is, or is it just about the money?
I think it's all together. It is about the money, but we don't have a long enough track record, right? So, for example, I used to be heavy into writing a lot of like religious music when I was younger, right?
Okay.
I'm not a big religion person now, but it would always be music that's positive and uplifting.
Okay.
One of the biggest things that was tough for me to keep doing that with is the idea that people would be like, oh, it's good, but I feel like you're preaching to me. I just feel like you're preaching at me.
Okay.
And that doesn't make me feel good.
Yeah.
Right? That didn't make people feel good.
Yeah. It's almost like a parent or overseer.
Yeah. So I was talking to my boy Louis not too long ago because we went to a music conference I go to every year with a writing organization called Writing Sessions America that I'm part of. Shout out to WSA. And we're talking about how to change the landscape of music, right? Mm-hmm. And part of it is we'd have to rip everything out and just start making positive music.
Okay.
And seeing if that works. Because people are like, negative music sells. We know that. That's what the record execs know.
Yes.
So that's what they're going to keep putting out. They're like, they know that this sells.
Yeah.
Shooting this, doing that, this sells. So they're not in the business of changing the formula right now.
No, because it works. It's what works. Yeah.
It works. Plus,
and it's bringing in revenue.
Yeah. Plus, is it a coincidence that they have part ownership in prisons and whatever?
Ooh.
I don't know. But there's not that conversation, right?
Ooh.
But that,
we'll touch on that another time.
But that happens to be a fact, right? So I think we just need to create a moment and a movement where we just do positive music.
Yeah.
And see how that impacts everybody. We can make positive music that doesn't have to be boring.
It's an experiment.
Yeah.
And right now there's a time where it's really needed.
Yeah.
It's really needed because
we need to celebrate positivity more.
And love.
Yeah, we do. We don't celebrate. Like the news. When's the last time you heard a
positive story?
A positive story.
Man.
Today, like, cat gets saved by a tree. Like, no.
Amen. Like you are touching on something I think about quite often working in the ER. With that being said,
oh God, yeah.
How do you feel about working here in upstate New York, coming from a big city with millions of people? Because you come from a city where there's millions of people. You are now working in a city where there's hundreds of thousands of people.
Yeah.
So the population is much smaller. But what we see on a daily basis coming into the ER,
it's crazy. It's really crazy. Even when I did my contract at New York Presbyterian in Manhattan, I don't think I've seen as many gunshot victims and overdoses and stabbings as I have in this small city.
And not even that.
And the age. The age. It's 15-year-olds. Whenever a new case comes in and I see that number, I just have to like double take. I'm like, 15?
Like, is that right? Like, that can't be.
Nah, it's 51. Y'all mix the number? No, no, 15. And it's really babies. It's really babies that come in dying on the streets. Dying. And that is like, it's so frustrating.
Yeah.
It's sad and it's frustrating. And I'm still in shock that I seen it so up close.
Man, I have to say this is my first experience working in the ER, and in nursing, my 25 plus years in this field, primarily working with the geriatric, the elderly community, I have become numb to death in a sense.
Yeah.
It doesn't affect me the way it used to many years ago.
Agreed.
But coming into this ER, like you said, and seeing, and at the age group, seeing what I'm seeing, like sometimes when I hear the trauma, I don't even go near the trauma room. You are in the thick of it. You have to be in there.
I have to.
You are needed. Like you cannot walk away when they say we got a trauma coming in.
No, I can't.
No, you don't have that option.
No, I don't have the option and I don't want to. Like, I hear that, I was like, okay, we need to get to business.
Game time.
It's game time for me. At that point, because I'm used to like that's rapid response stuff. It's like danger, like I go toward that danger. Oh, the danger's that way? All right.
Yo.
I'm on my way.
Honestly, one of the hood rules was like when there's a fight, everybody runs to the fight.
Yeah.
But when it starts to pop off,
You're
you hear
supposed to
shots.
you run away
Scattered.
from the shots. Yeah.
And if you use that, in your head, think about that. This guy has to run towards the danger.
Yep, I run towards it, and I cannot help myself.
No.
Nah. So in that emergency room, like trauma, I'll be right there. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. If I have hands to help, I'm helping.
Man. Okay. So let's. What are your proudest accomplishments when it comes to the medical field, and then tell me as far as music?
I think for the medical field, comparatively, like even to you, I have a fraction of your years in nursing experience. Right?
Yep.
Being completely transparent and honest. So even for me getting on my rapid response team, when I did 3 years ago, I was probably maybe 4 years into my nursing career as an ICU nurse. Mm-hmm. Making it onto my rapid response team at the hospital that I was a true honor for me. Yeah. Because my next senior had 15 years of ICU experience.
Wow.
Right? So I had to pass my interview and demonstrate that I had enough knowledge to be there with the greats of nursing.
But in such a small window of time.
Exactly. So I'm very impressed with myself that I was able to become like an authority that is trusted with his knowledge to be able to help people, right, and to be able to get there. So I feel like that's my greatest accomplishment.
Yeah.
So
that's
being
awesome.
the youngest person to get on my rapid response team with the least amount of years of nursing experience conventionally.
Yeah, and a young black male at that.
For sure.
Where we work,
For sure.
It is very light.
Yes, it is.
Very light. We're sprinkled. You know the guy that does
always
snowing with the... That's it.
It's a snowy climate where we work. Always.
It does. And you're top tier. Like you're higher than our charge nurse.
I try to be.
When it comes to experience and education.
At least ICU experience, for sure. Yeah. That's my wheelhouse. So
yeah. Okay, so what about music? Your greatest accomplishment so far?
Years ago, when I was a young, strapping hip hop artist, me and a few of my best friends managed to put together a 3-city tour.
Ooh.
Or 4 cities, and we managed to perform at the legendary Whiskey A Go-Go in California.
Awesome.
But we put that together ourselves.
Really?
With barely any fan base.
Your team and you.
Just us. And it was just, 3-4 of us?
Wow.
We put that together. Some of my other notable accomplishments is doing, I did a song with the legendary Locksmith. He's also from California. Called him off tour 1 year, and then we locked into the studio and made a song together. That was honestly like one of the most humbling experiences.
Yeah.
And I did a lot of work with the team Backpack Camp when they were more active. Okay. So that's backpack rappers. With the microphone,
the Talib Kweli, that era, that style of hip hop
so that was like that's my real. I love that kind of rap.
Yeah,
right? That's where I started. I get in my bag to do that. So being a finalist in a lot of the team backpack competitions are some of my great accomplishments.
Awesome, conscious music. Yeah, that's important. That's extremely important. Okay, so. What is the best thing about being a nurse, would you say?
I think it's your versatility and flexibility. You can, even a lot of police officers and firefighters finish their 20 years, military people, get their pension, and then go into nursing.
That's true.
You don't just have to be a nurse. Nursing creates so many opportunities for you to do things outside of nursing.
Yes.
And if you want to be a nurse specifically, you can go anywhere.
Yeah.
You can be a cardiology nurse. You can be an ICU nurse. You can be an ER nurse. You can be an endoscopy nurse. You can be an IR nurse.
Anesthesiologist.
Yes. You can go back and do that.
Yeah.
Love my anesthesiologist. A lot of the nurses that I trained are going into and finishing their anesthesiology.
Yeah?
Yeah, so that brings me a source of pride, right?
Look, you see the smile on his face,
no,
and I just get excited listening
I
to
didn't
him.
do it, and I could. I think if music didn't have such a hold on me,
Yeah.
that's probably what I would be. I'd be a certified nurse anesthesiologist.
Yeah.
But I'm just as happy getting the wins through watching other people do it.
That just brings such gratification.
It's still a win for me.
Yeah.
A win is a win.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So what's the worst thing about being a nurse, would you say?
Underappreciation.
Mm.
Underappreciation.
And by whom would you say? Is it the patients or is it management?
It's everybody.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. It's everybody. One is the patients, because often we get resistance from them from trying to help them.
Yeah.
But they were brought in for us to help.
We were talking about that the other
Bingo.
day about
Yes.
a patient.
So it makes our job harder.
Yeah.
Right? Then it's management, because it's always like, oh, nurses, I feel, take the blame for everything.
Yes.
Right? It's like, why is this place dirty? Well, that's sanitation's job. But like, you should have said something and did something, along with all the million other things that you have to do.
Yeah.
So it's like, if anything goes wrong, it's come down on the nurses
Yeah.
first, always. We have to call, why doesn't transporter know to be there? Yo, we have to call transportation and make sure that they're
Nurse
there.
to nurse
and then make sure
report
the
and-
nurse to nurse report
Yes.
is done. And then we need to also be accountable for the doctors and their decisions.
Yeah.
Not saying
Why didn't you call the team? Because we have this issue and this patient is critical.
And not saying that I'm
I
upset
sent them
about
a
it.
message, and why you didn't follow up?
Why didn't you follow up?
Yes.
I was like, well, he has a job too. Why can't we all just be accountable for our jobs and everybody just do their jobs the way they're supposed to do it?
Right.
But no, it's often like the nurse's fault. Oh, that didn't happen? Yo, where were you?
Yep.
As
Who was
long
the
as
nurse
this-
assigned to that patient?
Bingo. So I feel like that's the unfortunate part from the patients with trying to help them, from the doctors with not trusting us when we go out of our way to do what we have to do, or even being demeaned and belittled when it's unnecessary.
Yes.
We take a lot of smack from that, and we're always expected to be poised
Oh yeah.
and just take it
Yep.
and continue pouring from that empty cup.
And we're human too.
Sure. We have to take care of ourselves.
Yeah.
Right? Even little things like our safety is not taken into consideration. I think I just read in the news again, some nurse got stabbed at like a New Jersey hospital.
I'm taking them down. I'm taking them down. Yeah. I'm taking them down. I don't play no games.
That's not in the policy though. You can't do that.
You're not supposed to touch them.
If you do that, you lose your job.
Even if they come at you, you're not supposed to touch
You
them.
lose your job. So that's what I'm talking about. There's not enough protections, and we're not appreciated.
I'm from the PJs. I'm taking them down.
for sure.
Listen, you come at me later after.
Listen, you're gonna have to talk to my lawyer later. But
Right.
I will not be abused for trying to help.
Yep. I'm trying to help you save your life.
It's
And
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Right? So angry
That's a
family
big
members
thing.
because they can't have things the way that they want. And it's not like I don't want to give you what you want. That's not where things are headed right now.
yeah.
Can't control it.
Yep.
So we get yelled at, cursed at, and all of that stuff. You know, it just takes one minor inconvenience for someone to come in with a weapon, and
Yeah.
we're very exposed.
Yeah. Yeah, we are. You know, we're so essential. It's almost sometimes we feel like we're complete bottom.
Yeah,
The bottom.
yeah.
What would you say is the biggest challenges a nurse faces on a daily basis, outside of what we just talked about?
Self-care,
Burnout.
burnout.
Out of a burnout.
Yeah, we've nurses especially. Nurses have created a culture where it's who works the most without taking breaks.
Ooh. Don't
Like-
put me in it. Don't do it to me.
Like-
Don't do it.
It's not necessary. It's not like that's not something for a competition. They're also in there's a nursing culture where it's like, oh, it's my patient, I'll do everything for them, right?
That's a know-it-all.
And I
understand that as a
but I-
person that thinks they know it all.
But I fell victim to that just because like the culture just demands it.
Yeah.
That when I moved to my first contract in California, because they have ratios. So ratios
Yes.
are like this nurse is only allowed to have 4 patients in this area because that's the maximum load. If they get any more, it becomes unsafe nursing.
Right.
So California literally has a nurse's job that's called a break nurse.
Okay.
So the break nurse will come, they'll take a look at what your patient assignment is, and they send you the break. Mandatory. They're real about that.
That's important.
So when I got to California, the break nurse is like, oh, what's going on? And I'm like, hey, I have these meds to give. There's like 13 meds that need to be given to this patient and whatever. I'm going to go on my 30-minute break and I'll do it when I get back. No, the break nurse is, no. I had a hard time dealing with this. The break nurse is like, no, for 30 minutes, I'm you. So all 13 of those meds are going to get given
by me.
Yeah,
I'm taking over.
And that was hard for me to get used to because of the culture we created. It's like, oh, your patient, your medications, you give it.
Mine.
Yeah. Make sure that when we go on break, there's nothing left for the nurse covering you to do. That's what I'm used to. We have to get away from that, right? That opened my eyes to it, right? Because nursing care is 24/7 and it's taken care of by a team.
Yeah. Teamwork make the dream work.
Absolutely.
I tell them all the time when they say, oh, thank you, Q, for helping me. And I'm like, we're a team.
Yeah,
that's what we do.
That's part of the plan. It was just expected.
Yeah.
So we need to get away from that. We need to get away from, oh, I didn't take a break because I was doing this.
Ooh.
No, go take your break.
Yes.
You need that break.
Yeah.
This is why you go home and you're upset and you're emotionally disturbed and tired and you come back and you're burnt out.
Yeah. And you're taking it out on the people you love the most, you know?
Take your break.
Yeah.
It's okay. Go take that break. Go take that. Enjoy that break.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing about me, it don't matter if it's 7:30 and I just get on, or it's 6 a.m. and I'm almost getting on. I'm taking my break.
Facts. Because you're not paying me for it.
Right?
And I need it.
Somebody asks me like, oh, we're allowed to take breaks? I'm like, yep, my contract says that. Yes, we are allowed. You can choose not to, but I will be taking my break.
Yes.
If there's somebody to cover and it's safe for me to go and there's nothing going on, you best believe I'm taking my break.
So that's how you manage your stress, would you say?
Absolutely. I'm big on breaks. Big on breaks. You have to take breaks for everything in life.
Yeah, you do.
Right? You cannot, again, pour from an empty cup. You can't.
Right.
You have to recharge. You have to refuel.
Yeah.
Everything in life needs recharge and refuel. I can't use my computer 24/7.
Right.
My computer needs to be charged. My phone needs to be charged.
That's true. You never
think
about it like that.
My car needs to be charged. Even things that are not human need to be charged. What makes you think that I don't need to be charged?
That's true. And you never think of it like that. But it's so simple. Like, we were talking about this earlier. People make things complicated when it's really black and white. There's no gray area. Wow. I like the way you put that in simple terms so that anyone can truly understand what it is you're trying to explain to us and help people out there understand when it comes to coming into this field. The people are thinking about the money nowadays, and you have to be prepared, ready, you have to be in the right mindset.
For sure.
And you have to have a passion for helping others.
Yeah.
You can't just come in here and think you're going to get a paycheck because you mess around and you come in here just for the money. You're going to end up having a lawsuit.
You most definitely will.
You'll lose
you will get caught. It will not be fun and you'll be hurting a lot of people. And I don't want that karmic damage hanging over my head either. Right? And that's the stuff that
I know
we're not
some people
about.
who's even got their license revoked and they went to jail and their life, they've been placed in the paper. They're on a list of a never do not hire. And like,
you don't want those problems.
Yeah.
Come in, be passionate, and operate from a place of passion. That's really what we have to do. Operate from a place of passion, operate from a place of compassion.
Yeah.
And just I always tell people, I'm like, if you wouldn't do it for your grandmother, don't do it for the patient.
Yeah.
You want to treat that patient exactly how you would like your grandmother to be treated if she was a patient.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's also missing in these nursing facilities, these long-term care facilities, which honestly I believe are starting to become more of an institution like jail for the elderly. It's important for people to go out there and check on their family members.
That's a good way to put it.
because you're locked in.
Wow.
You can't. Old people aren't let out unless someone, a loved one, actually comes and gets
Signs them
them.
out. Yeah. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. It's almost like school, school to prison pipeline. You touched on it earlier, but we'll have a conversation for another day. But it's like you have to follow this regimen, and you're behind these closed doors, and you're locked in till a certain time.
Yeah.
And then you're finally set free, and a lot of our places of education or housed places are starting to look more and more like institutions.
Yeah.
And we're getting away from taking care of each other. Love, like you
leaving
said
each
with the
other
music.
behind. Yeah.
Yes.
Leaving people behind, not just coming from a place of love. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's happening all around, There used to be a time where, even our children, right? Like that saying is around for a reason. Like it takes a village to raise a child, right?
Yes.
Because you raise a child and then the child grows up and then the child then in turn should take care of the village.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But we're not taking care of our children. So
we're allowing technology to raise them.
So why would they come back and take care of us?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We put all these obligations on, you should be that, you should take care of your grandmother and your father and whatever.
Yeah.
Which is true, right? That is a true law of nature.
Absolutely.
But they're not being taken care of.
We've
so they don't see the value of it.
Yep.
Yeah. But we have to show them that value.
Yeah.
That way they can operate from it.
And that's where that music touches in.
Yes, for sure.
If you have love in the words, in the rhythm, and that medicine
music,
that you're putting in your
frequencies,
ears,
right?
Yes.
Right. So if you have love in the frequency, love's a frequency.
It's only gonna,
It's just gonna keep giving.
Yep. Yep.
So we have to learn to circulate that frequency of love in music, love and care, and that's the only way we can really get back to being like the most optimal beings that we can be.
Now. So, what would you say are some of your weaknesses when it comes to the medical field?
There's always a sense of pride and a sense of ego that can definitely be there. I don't think I operate from that place often.
No.
But it just comes in sometimes because I know certain things. I may not be privy to certain things that people do know.
Okay.
So I usually try to humble myself and ask. And my initial always if you disagree with me, I'm like, wow, you're really stupid. But
explain it. Explain yourself why you disagree.
But usually I feel that way when the physician is going to usually be, or whoever the caretaker is not giving me context to the knowledge of why they're going this way rather that way.
Right.
I go into you're really stupid mode when you're like, just because I said so.
Yeah.
That doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
That doesn't work for me because I'm like, this is not how we usually do it. Usually this is done like this.
We were having a conversation the other day about that in a sense, and when I had to come and assist you, and then after, later on I had asked you about that particular patient, and you told me, you said CYA is very important in the medical field. You told me you contacted that physician and was like, okay, this is what you want to do. I don't think that's a great idea, but what's your name? What department?
That's right.
If I have questions or something happens, what's the number in which I can
Yes. It was like,
Touch
you want
on
to,
that
I
a little
remember
bit.
that. Yeah,
Yes.
It was, because, I'm an advocate, right?
Yes.
If he doesn't look good for that test, because it may compromise his life, I'm going to be like, nah.
Because when we transferred him onto the bed for the MRI, first thing he said, I can't breathe.
It wasn't even the MRI. It was a regular CAT scan.
Oh, okay. He was like, I can't
CAT
breathe.
scan is fast.
I can't breathe.
CAT
I'm
scan's
like
what, 5-10 minutes?
looking at him, and I'm looking at you like, wait a minute.
I'm like, we're going to be okay. I got oxygen. Right? Like 5 minutes is cool. Now they want to do MRI. I'm like, I was just with him in the CAT scan. Right? This is why nurses know. They spend all the time with him.
Yes.
Right? I was with him in the CAT scan for 5 minutes. You're saying you want him to go for an MRI for half an hour?
Yeah.
And lie flat and do the same thing? I don't think that's a good idea, boss. Sorry, boss. No, Captain, I'm not comfortable with that. So they're like, they're playing the risk versus benefits game, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. if you really think that it is, and I'm not unreasonable, right? I'm like, okay, if you think that this is super important, I just want your direct phone number,
Yeah.
your direct
CYA.
line, your direct line.
Yep.
I'm gonna document it. I think I told him specifically, like, I'm an ICU nurse. I am no stranger to danger. I'm not. I'm not running away from danger. If something happens to him right now,
I does this.
if he stops breathing right now, I would do everything that I need to, but I can't do it without your orders. So if you're gonna put me in a place, compromising
Put
position,
me in a bind just in case.
yeah, I'm gonna need your direct number because you're gonna be there the whole entire time to walk us through this to make sure that my patient's okay too. Because it's not about me; it's about the patient.
Yeah.
So my weakness. This started because we're talking about the weakness. My weakness is the sense of pride or the sense of ego I can have from what I know.
Yeah.
And it usually comes from not being explained properly why things are happening.
Follow up on that is strengths.
My strengths? My strengths is my compassion. Right? I'm passionate about people.
Yeah.
I'm a big people pourer. I like to pour into people.
In general.
I like to teach. I love teaching. Education.
I'm a student.
I'm a student too. The best teachers are students.
Yes, and I'm the student of his. I mean,
I'm honored.
As of lately, I mean, I swear, I just, I love it because I learned so much.
But that's also how you get to mastery, right? You haven't really learned a subject if you can't teach it to someone.
Yeah.
That's how you know someone really knows something.
Yeah.
If they can teach it to you and break it down in simple terms, then that's mastery. If you can't, you don't know enough. You got to hit the drawing boards again.
And the universe gives you signs and lets you know when you're on the right track because things start to flow in your favor when you have someone who's, not so much as an advisor or a mentor, but someone you ask for guidance or in questions, and they lead you in a direction where you start to see things work for you and things falling into place because you're seeking.
I think we have mentors of all sorts. I think mentor is a good name for that.
Yeah.
There are mentors of all sorts, right?
That's true.
Your best friend could be your mentor.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't have to be someone above you.
Right.
I think that's what we forget. We think of mentors like you can have an emotional mentor. You can have a financial mentor. We can have
I never thought about it like that.
You can have different mentors for different places in your life.
Yeah.
One person doesn't have to do it all. Right?
Right.
If you're not good in fashion or knowing how to put stuff together, you can get a fashion mentor.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Someone you like their style, you're like, yo, can you be my fashion mentor? Like I wanna get my drip up.
Yeah.
I get that.
That's true.
Right?
I never thought about it like that.
And we should look for that more because we keep thinking that we can do every single thing by ourselves.
I'm one of them.
Yeah,
Goodness
you're guilty for that one.
Yo,
You're learning though. You're learning though.
I am.
So that's important.
You're never too old to
coachable.
learn. Yes.
You're coachable. Being coachable is the most important thing.
Yeah.
But you can get a mentor for anything. Like, I don't know how to bake a muffin. Let me go get a baking mentor. Show me how to make these cakes.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. You never really think about it like that because people like to feel as if they know it all. Like, and there's always someone out there that knows more than you. Yeah. Yeah. And you just have to be willing to learn.
Yeah.
No matter what age, no matter what background, just be willing to learn and just be a student of the game of life.
Yeah.
Life is a game.
For sure.
And you have to be welcome being a student. Like me personally, I hate school, but I love education.
Love learning.
Feed off of education.
Me too. I don't like school in the conventional sense either, but I love learning.
Yeah.
I love education. I'm big on that.
Yeah. Nice. Because you have a mentor as well.
Of course. I have mentors in different facets of my life. I have business mentors.
Yeah.
I have a music mentor.
Wow.
I need a mentor. I need someone that's gone and done this. So, like, when I do something, it'd be like, you should probably tighten up on that.
Yeah.
Right? Because you don't know what you don't know.
And you want to be successful in whatever you dabble in. So why not? I was telling the tax guy, Mr. Rotundo today, I was like, it's already been written. Sometimes we often want to rewrite the book, but the formula is there.
Yeah, the Bible says nothing new under the sun. You think you're reinventing something? No, we're just doing the
Someone's
same
done
thing.
it already.
Yeah, you find the person that has the formula.
Yeah.
Copy their formula, add your twist to it. Yeah. Matter of fact, you doing their formula is already a twist to it because nobody else is you.
There you go. You took it from right out my brain.
Nobody else is you.
I was just about to say that.
There you go.
Yeah. Wow. Don't make life so difficult. It's all so simple. Like the Wu-Tang Clan said.
KISS.
Can it be all so simple?
KISS. Keep it.
Ooh, I like that.
Stupid. Yeah, that's a
Say that again. The acronym.
KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. That's it.
I like that. Okay, last question. Do you think a traveling nurse, is it worth it, and why? In every aspect.
It's definitely worth it.
And that entails you being your own boss, correct?
Yeah. One, you have freedom over your schedule, right? Two, you have freedom to go see different places and experiences that you wouldn't have otherwise.
Yeah.
Right? So like for your personal life, to be able to go to a place where it's more rural, you'll do nursing, you'll do your job, but you get to go hike on the mountainside.
Yeah.
Or you get to go to a beach on your off day.
See
we
the
have
world.
to keep flooding ourselves with new experiences because that's what it is to be authentically human.
Yeah.
Continuing to have experiences. People that slow down in their life and just die off and fizzle is because they're not introducing into their life enough new experience.
Yes.
That's what that problem is. That's usually what anxiety and depression is.
Yeah.
Doing the same thing over and over and over again and not being happy with your choices really leads to that.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Yeah. Never want to be there on your deathbed.
Yeah.
You want to be, I did that, it didn't work out, I'm happy I did it.
Yeah.
That's it. Just be happy you did it.
Yeah. Yeah.
For the people that are more involved in caring of like the nursing and medicine aspects, working at different hospital systems and seeing how different systems do nursing differently expands the mind. Because there's not necessarily one size fits all, right?
No,
we don't do one
not
size
at
fits
all.
all medicine.
No.
You may go to a facility and see how they do their DKA protocol a little different, and you could bring that somewhere else and maybe improve on it.
Yeah.
Because everybody does it a little bit differently.
Right.
You'll learn new tricks, but that comes from exploring the ecosystem of that, and traveling allows you to do that. So I've seen how different places will manage patients different with different policies and different things in place. And there's good and there's bad from all of them.
Yeah.
But you just keep picking up, amassing the good skills, and you make yourself a holistically better nurse.
Well-rounded.
Absolutely. And you'll teach other people things like, like that's how people learn, you don't have a pressure bag, you can use the blood pressure cuff, right, to squeeze the bolus, to give a bolus, right?
Yeah.
Right? That's something that people learn in different places. Maybe
Wow, I never thought about that, but it makes sense.
It helps you be more innovative, and people appreciate that in your practice.
Yeah, that's learning. That's learning something new every time you go into work, especially in this field alone. You should be welcoming knowledge in the education. Like when you step through those doors, whatever, it's nursing 101, whatever you have going on outside of there, you leave it at the door. Leave it at the door.
So yeah, traveling is great all around. I think every nurse should do it. I think you should get your skills, get your 2 years of nursing, be comfortable in the care that you give, and then you should definitely go travel.
Yeah.
You should go travel. You should learn, go travel and learn and understand. And maybe you'll see something that you really would not have seen and known that you wanted to do.
Yeah.
In the midst of traveling.
You can find your passion.
You can find your passion.
A lot of people out there, like I have a young daughter, she's not sure. She studied mechanical engineering, but she's not sure what she wants to do in life, and she hasn't really tapped into anything. And just the experience of being a traveler alone, like I worked for the government for 13 years, and I just jumped out the window. I was like, you gonna leave 13 years behind? Yeah, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out.
They say that what you want or what you need is on the other side of fear, right? I think the statement was, the treasure that you seek is in the cave of fear.
Wow.
And you only find that treasure of what you need once you go into that cave of fear.
Yeah.
And once you conquer that, it was what you needed all the whole time.
And it usually when you jump into it, it's like damn, it wasn't even.
It wasn't
Like,
even
what was I
that bad.
afraid
What was I
of?
scared of?
What? Why?
Yeah. Because we fantasize and we make up all of these things and stories as to why we shouldn't do something, and it holds us back.
Yeah,
Holds us back.
big time. Big time. Yeah. Yeah, because there's a huge world out there.
Yeah.
And it's just,
Vast.
yeah, it's just waiting for us to explore.
It's untouched, untapped.
So another thing you do, this is outside of nursing though. I am a person that I'm going to, it's already spoken into existence,
Talk to
retire when it comes to real estate. That is my dream, my goal, my passion. Now you yourself, you dabble in real estate. This is a man of many businesses as well as talent.
Yeah, definitely a real estate professional. Specialize in Airbnbs, short-term rentals. Do it for people that travel for work.
Yeah.
My company was based to help nurses that travel to hospitals and provide housing for them as well. So my real estate company is big on that, especially in Airbnb and just short-term rentals. Mid-term rentals we're working on as well. I did long-term rentals for a little bit too.
How you felt about that?
It was cool. It is cool.
Comparison, short term, long term, and like knowing what you know now, what would you do differently?
A mixture of everything.
Okay.
Yeah, you never want to just relegate yourself to just one part of it. Short term is in and out, they'll come out. Midterm are people that are staying for like jobs or whatever. It could be 6 months, a year. But people need to vacation for short term.
Yeah.
People need to work abroad for midterm. And long term, people need places to live.
That's true.
So if I can provide all of it, I will.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's, damn, it all goes back to the medical field. It's serving others.
Yeah. Yeah.
That are in need.
Yeah. You'll find that the most successful people are in positions or jobs that involve serving others.
And when you're passionate about those things, that's where you receive your blessings.
Yes, you never have to worry about anything. Life, God will take care of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a true believer in that.
I believe that too.
Yeah. So with this discussion, I want to encourage people out there to give back.
Yeah.
Give back to your community, you know, those who are in need, no matter where you are.
One of the first books that I've read for business too is called The Go-Giver. Did I tell you about that book?
No, you see, that's the next. That's the next book I got to purchase. Now he's got me reading two books. I just completed them. Pat on the back here.
Good job with that one.
Yes.
The Go-Giver, a great book.
The Goal Giver.
The Go-Giver. G-O Giver.
Yeah.
And it really illustrates the principle of just giving and being of service to people. Great book.
I'm going to get that book.
Very short read. You can finish that in like a few hours, actually.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
He's pushing me.
Yeah.
But that's what you need. You need someone to push you
For sure.
and to hold you accountable. Long after, when you say you're going to do something, you need that person, whether you like it or not, that's in your corner, that's holding you accountable long after you said you were going to do it. You don't just say you're going to do it and then let it fall by the wayside.
Yeah.
You got to have that person in your life that pushes you forward, that encourages you to be at your best, because everyone has great potential to be the best they can be. They just look for excuses not to be that.
You got to get out of your own way. Everyone just gets in their own way.
Or they allow others
For sure.
to get in the way. And we were saying something the other day, just to touch on, about relationships with some people, because, you know, some people see you at a particular point in life where you may have been down or haven't been doing as well, and then you develop or build a relationship with them, and then you start to soar.
Yeah, you outgrow them. Outgrowing people is a real thing. Outgrowing people is a real thing, especially in a place where they say you're an average of your 5 closest friends.
I'm like, you realize literally.
Listen, like,
I don't have 5 close friends, but I mean,
listen, like, the people I was with 10 years ago, if they're not making the same type of money I'm making, they can't have the same experiences that I can have. It's nothing to them. Like,
Right.
Kudos to them. I don't care, but I need to I'm elevated, right?
Yes.
So I need to find people that do similar things. And not even that, if I want to be better and grow, I need to make sure at least 2 of them are doing better than I am.
Amen.
Right?
Yeah.
I need billionaires that are like my closest friends, right? If that's where I want to
that's
go,
the goal,
right? Because I need to. I don't want to be able to. I can't. If I can't call you and you understand the situation I'm going through, you can't give me no advice on the situation. What's the point?
Yeah.
Right?
What service or need that you're fulfilling or can provide?
Yeah.
Like,
You know?
I can't get nothing from you.
And it's not even your fault. It's just you can't tell me how to broker $1 million deals
Yeah.
if you haven't made $1 million.
Right.
You can't advise me on that. If you only make $80K, like I can't call you and be like, yo, should I buy this building or not?
Right.
You're not gonna give me the information that I need.
Yeah.
Someone who's built and bought like 30 buildings, they can be like, yo, you gotta do this, you gotta make sure you dot your I here, you cross your T there.
Yeah.
That's who I need to be in close communion with.
Yeah.
That needs to be the average of my closest friends.
And that's one of the reasons, like, I noticed about you from jump when I asked you questions and just watching you, because I would watch you in the way in which you moved, and I was like, yo, this guy's doing something. Like, he is on the move. And I'll be like, oh, you're off for the next couple of days. You was like, yo, I'm flying back home because then I got to fly here and fly here. And I'm like, what? You flying here? What are you doing there? He's like, yo, I got this recording. And I'm setting up with my mentor. Then I got this property.
Yep.
And as he's saying all these things, it's like, wait a minute. That's what I want to do. Like, I have all these things going on and I'm not where I need to be. As well as, I have a lot of people. I know a lot of people.
Yeah, you know a lot of people.
I know a lot of people.
Yo, her network is vast and she be slacking, bro.
But
Like,
see,
literally a network, like, she is the epitome of your network. It's your net worth and her not touching into. She has a $1 trillion net worth.
I do. I really do.
She living a $1,000 lifestyle, and I don't get it. She's a trillionaire in the making.
But it's because, my problem is,
you're killing me.
I don't have I have a relationship with them, and I can build it, but I'm not tapped into, or I'm not laying eyes on them on a weekly basis, and I am such a loner that it's to my detriment at times.
Yeah.
I lay eyes on him, and I see him at least 3-4 times out of the week. So therefore, like, I tap into him, and I'm every day he's feeding me something new, and I fail, and it's good to fail. Like, you have to fail at life in order to be successful, truly successful. And I fail at tapping into past relationships. I like to stay in the present, in the now. He's in my present. He's going to be in my future as well. But I get to watch him as he moves, and him explaining and breaking down what it is that he's doing that I can actually learn from. And everything, man, it's just falling into place.
I think the key is identifying where you want to go and picking mentors of the people that are there.
Yeah.
Right? Because you don't have to lay eyes on them. Yeah, technology.
Yeah. Yeah. And
It's
you know
nothing
what?
to call somebody.
Yeah.
It's nothing to text
Pick up the
somebody and just Zoom. Like, it's nothing to have like, yo, let's get on a Zoom for like 10 minutes. I wanna run some ideas by you.
Right.
So you need to find those mentors in your life that have things that you want and, provide value.
Yeah.
Right? Especially in like the music industry, right? The way a lot of especially because I'm an audio engineer as well, the way a lot of audio engineers get on and end up doing things and becoming big time for like the Cardi B's and the Offsets and the Drakes and whatever.
Yeah.
It's the main engineer doesn't show up, or they're late, or they had a family emergency, and then it's opportunity. It's like, oh, I'm the only one
Who do
here.
I know? Yep.
No, they just happen to be there. It's like, yo, can you run this session? I'm like, yeah, man, like, let's go, right?
Yeah.
And just be ready.
Yes.
Right?
You're in the room and you're ready to
And you're
go
just
when the
ready to
duty
go.
calls. Yeah.
So you just gotta be open for opportunity and be able to study and just be there.
Yeah.
when the time is
Be a
right.
student of the game.
So find your mentor, know the people that are places that you want to be, and just call them and see how you can. I made that analogy to talk about providing value.
Okay.
Right? They were there and they were able to provide value.
Yeah.
Because that person is missing.
Yes. Yes.
So if you can provide value to the people, so if you can provide value to the people, they'll be able to help you. They'll love helping you.
Yeah.
Right? Mentor, like, how you doing today? Right? Financial mentor, how you doing today? You good? I get you coffee? You good?
Yep.
Anything, right?
Yep.
I know you have
I'll
a long
take
day. Can I
runs,
get you
all that
anything?
for you. Yeah.
Just do that. Just be there.
Yeah.
You know, I teach my junior engineer that all the time. Like, if we go into like one of my great friend Joe's studio, like, he's a fantastic audio engineer. Shout out to Joe Lindsay. Great engineer. Love him. Trust him to mix my music. I'm an engineer too. And anytime I go, because I book a session because I want him to mix my records, like, yo, you drank? You ate?
Yeah.
Water? Gatorade? Coffee?
Facts.
What do you
Facts.
need? What can I provide for
Yes.
you? And I know I'm welcome all the time because I care about his well-being.
Yep. Yep. And that's so
if I need
important.
something, if I need something like, yo, I need a session last minute, or like I just need 30 minutes.
You
And he's
reciprocate
like,
that energy.
exactly. It's going to come back.
Yeah.
It's going to come back. It's like, oh, this person, he always makes sure that I'm fed or that my thirst is quenched.
Yeah.
Why would I not want to help them?
Yeah.
So you give value to people, people will give value back to you.
That's true. That's true.
So
Especially
think of it
people
as
that
giving
appreciate.
value. Yeah. So think of it as giving value to those people, and that's how you nurture those relationships instead of letting them go at the wayside. Right?
Yeah.
Just check on your friends. They're your friends.
Right.
They're all
Right.
your friends.
Yeah. You know, and another thing that you said involving that was like you have multiple mentors for different things.
For different things.
And you can always learn something from each other. Sometimes, like I find that I provide lots of value to others, and that value falls at the wayside, especially as far when it comes to support, emotional support, or just people asking me questions, you know, to see, you know, just they want to know my opinion on things, because my experience in life really has helped them get through. But when I go to tap into them, they can't provide me with anything.
I think that goes back to finding the true friends that should be in your circle.
Yeah.
Because I'm willing to bet that those people are also not doing the same things that you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
I can identify that. Because if they don't care or have the time, it's probably because they can't.
You make time though.
That's true.
You really make time.
That's true.
That's
but
important.
They probably can't because they don't do what you do. So they can't even advise you properly.
Yeah. They can't.
So you need new friends, bro.
Yeah.
You need new friends.
Man.
That's what we're talking about. Because I saw a post about it. Appreciate your day two friends too. Right? The day twos have a place.
Yeah, they do.
It's not always the day ones. Like the day twos have met you where you are now.
Yeah, they're in that position for a
They
reason.
have a lot in common with you. So lean on them. Create more day twos. That's okay.
You're my day two.
There you go.
Yeah, man. You're gonna get tired of me.
Nah, I don't get tired. I don't get tired.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you for this interview.
Absolutely, it's a pleasure.
Man.
Had fun.
Oh, it's gonna be great.
It's gonna be
great.
fantastic.
Like today's been an awesome day.
For sure.
I want to encourage people out there, like when you ask the universe for things and you start to see them come to fruition and certain vibes and energies start entering your life, you know, just take that in, enjoy it, like really own it, and appreciate that person as well as yourself for the path in which you're going in, you know, that road you're starting to take, because you're really starting to truly live towards your dreams, goals, and aspirations. Like, you know,
You gotta operate in gratitude. You
Yeah.
gotta be grateful.
Yeah.
And I think we forget that too, actually. I think I forgot to say thank you just for another day this morning. So I give my gratitude for that here and now. I try to practice gratitude every day. 'Cause
Yeah.
you're not promised tomorrow.
Nope.
You just wake up, then tomorrow
Amen.
started. Amen. Just be grateful for it and go out and live your best.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that didn't wake up last night.
Facts.
You
That's
know,
a fact.
they're
That's a
not
big
here.
fact.
And there's always someone out there who's willing to trade places with you, no matter what situation you may be in.
Yeah. What's that quote that I saw? It was the you now is what you prayed for 10 years ago.
Oh yeah,
You're the you that
Most
you wanted
definitely.
to be 10 years ago.
most definitely.
So if they saw you 10 years and they'll be like, oh, that's who I want to be. So appreciate where you are now because this is what you prayed for.
Yeah,
You're where you prayed yourself to be,
yeah.
whether that's good or bad. So be careful with that.
I always want more.
Yeah.
Always, really put yourself out there and go after it. Like the dreams never die. You gotta be willing to put in the work. You were saying something earlier on our way here about, if it was easy, everyone would be rewarded. It's not supposed to be easy.
Not supposed to be easy. Simple, not easy.
Yeah. What a true statement.
Simple, but not easy.
Life is so black and white.
Life is simple, but not easy.
Yeah, it's not easy at all. You have to really want it. Well, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining us.
Yes.
That was great.
This guy here, if you can reach out, what's your plug? Especially your
My
Instagram.
name is Arno. I go by Be Light on the web. You can find me at Pandemic Poppy, PANDEMIC, PAPII on the internet, or Be Light, B-LIGHT. You can look it up on all platforms. You can Google me and you'll be able to find me and connect. Feel free to reach out if you have questions or anything like that. And it's always a pleasure. Thank you for having me. It's a blessing and an honor.
The pleasure is all mine, man.
Yeah.
It's all mine because I know, it's important. Like, if you want to do something in life and you never get started, then you don't understand or your gift. You haven't tapped into your gift and you don't know how successful that you truly can be. All it takes is one to go viral, one to go crazy. You don't know which one that is. So you just have to take a leap of faith and jump at fear and do it and do it. And that's why this is the first of many to come, because I kept holding this off and it was like, oh, I don't have this equipment and I need this and I need that, and all those things in which I spent money on and purchased. I got a tripod that's wrapped to a chair and an old phone.
Yep.
And like this man said right here, he's an audio engineer. So the wealth is there. The knowledge is all around you. You have to be willing to tap into it.
For sure.
Yeah. So peace.
Peace out, guys.
Blessings. Stay driven, stay focused, love and live your life. Thank you.